Hello, Edinburgh Fringe is upon us, so I thought I'd have a go at reviewing some of the shows I've seen. First up is No One Is Coming by Sinead O'Brien. Sinead shares with us her personal story interspersed with Irish folklore. She does this with both great humour and gravity. The Irish are known for their strong oral traditions, and it was a delight to be a recipient. We enter Sinead's own story, waiting for news about potential work in her chosen career, but we are soon swished down into family history, and in particular her relationship with her mother. Without giving too much away, it is revealed that her mum has a mental health condition. What is highlighted by this relationship and the unfolding story is that mental health issues have a deep impact not just on the person experiencing them, but their family too. I was reminded of Abby Lockhart's character in ER and her mother Maggie, played by Sally Field, which was a particularly good example of bipolar experience and effect on family, especially for its time. In both cases, the daughters put space between themselves and their mothers for their own well-being and protection. I feel like I have no words of wisdom on this topic. There are no easy solutions to such a web of difficulty, but I think that listening to stories like Sinead's is a pretty good place to start. So you should go see her. She's on at the Scottish Storytelling Centre. The second show I saw at this year's Fringe was Funeral. This is a show by a Belgian group who invite the audience to take part in a ceremony of goodbye. Goodbye to our loved ones, goodbye to all those that pass through this lived existence. My friend and I arrived on the steps of what is normally Edinburgh Southside Community Centre, which is a building dating back to 1820 when it was the Nicholson Street Church. Outside of Fringe times, I've been in this building for community group meetings, art classes for those using mental health services, free community meals for those in need of food and company, so it's a fitting place for a ceremony designed to bring us together. The show begins on the steps outside the main entrance, where they teach us a beautiful song to be sung at a later point. Unfortunately, the sound doesn't travel far past the threshold of the door, and the noise from the traffic makes it extra hard to hear what's going on. I wish they could have taken us into a room into the building first, and then taught us the song, so I could really give myself to it. But I managed to take part just humming along where I could. Next, we went up the stairs where we were handed hot-scented cloths to wash our hands. I thought this was a symbolic gesture to cleanse ourselves before entering this sacred space, but it would turn out to be quite practical since I was about to shake hands with everybody attending the show. I could go on and describe all the lovely things that happened sitting there in the dark, but I should leave it to you to experience for yourself. I'm glad I was there. I felt very welcome. So if you're in the mood for a time out from the intensity of the festival and wish to take a moment to connect to others through remembering those no longer with us, you should check this show out. For my third show, I went to see Choir. Or rather, I went to take part in Choir. All you have to do is show up and they'll teach you your parts, is what it says on the website, and I can confirm that is what happened. I went to this show because I love singing with others, and I genuinely think we should have more of it in our society. Our modern lives have stripped us of many traditions that enrich us, and communal singing is one of them. However, I did have a couple of issues, and I realise I'm probably in a minority with these issues, but whatever, my experience counts too, right? Anyone who knows me will know I have trouble being taught in certain ways, and one of those ways is when teachers are deliberately antagonistic. They make fun of you, they're sarcastic, they mock tell you off, and it just doesn't work for me. It makes me feel hostile. If a person is talking to me this way at a social gathering where there's no structured power imbalance, I can laugh it off and tell the person to jog on. But sitting there in my seat unable to have this resolution, my insides start to twist. But everyone around me is laughing, right? So I understand I'm alone in this, or maybe autistic in this. Speaking of autistic issues, guys, if you see this, please take your lozenges before the show. I cannot handle the sensory intrusion of it happening in front of me. Finally, a note on the actual music we sang. I'd love them to include a greater variety of songs from the British music scene and bump everything up a decade or 3. Air guitar never made sense to me until Florence and the Machine. Anyway, I went on cheap night, so I can't really complain. If you enjoy singing, you'll have fun. Check out their Insta for clips.